happened in the 90s.
This is the city, Cleveland. Every morning, 2 million listeners search their radio dial for a station which gives them fresh, entertaining news, sports, and topical conversation. When they do, I go to work. My name is Tapier. I carry a mic.
And I'm his partner, Tolo.
Come on, Tolo. We got a code 2 from one of our listeners.
Code 2? What's that?
It's a fax. Just the facts, man.
Right.
Tolo and Tapier, mornings on Sports Radio 1220 WKNR. Arresting personalities.
So first, Steve, thank you for allowing me to Mr. Me Too you and steal your idea to get a better mic. I had to just, I couldn't allow you to flex on me. So I'm sorry. I had to. But I feel like everyone that's listening, you're going to hear a better quality audio because Steve and I both upgraded the mics.
With
Let
these
them
golden
say hi,
voices
Steve.
of
Let them
ours.
hear that voice and just full, crisp, clear HD audio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of Podcast America.
Even the world, Steve. We're international.
And the
I've seen
world.
that list.
Podcast world, the podcast universe. Hello to our listeners across the pond. Hello to our listeners in Canada, Hello to our listeners in Sweden.
Hello. Hello. Spiegen. But Steve, I thought I'd open up today. I was able to see something I wasn't really excited about, but my wife loves it. Disney Plus just released a Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie, bringing back the old characters from the 90s cartoon. And we watched it on Friday. And I got to say, man, if it's one of the examples of bringing something back that works. It's great. It's hilarious. Andy Samberg killed it. And
wow.
you gotta, I can't recommend it enough. If you like that cartoon or any like 90s like cartoons from that era, they reference a lot of them. They show a lot of them. It has the same sort of like callbacks, heavily like Space Jam did with LeBron James version of it, where they showed a lot of the old characters, but they do it well. It's funny as fuck. It's adult as fuck. And,
It's CGI.
It's a little bit of everything because for most of the movie, it starts as regular cartoons. And then it's basically the story is Chip and Dale were like two characters that met and they wrote the show. Like they were in Hollywood. It's basically like, they wrote this, they were in the show, they got big and then they separated. And this is what happens afterwards. So they're celebrities,
So they go meta with it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so great, dude. So they reference all that. They have all this adult shit going on, like the character Monterey Jack, one of their fellow rescue rangers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's all strung out, like coked out on cheese. So they have to go help him because he's in too deep with the mob and shit. It's hilarious, dude.
And cheese is a metaphor for cocaine.
Oh yeah, I have fucking Limburgers, Steve.
Who does Andy Samberg play?
He's Dale.
Okay.
Yeah. So and like the other, but like so Chip is John Mulaney. He's great at cartoon voices. So he's great in this. Samberg's Dale. All the other characters, I think, like, well, the fly who always had like a high-pitched fly nonsense voice is actually now that black dude that was in 24, the real deep voice guy from Allstate. I think he does Allstate commercials or something.
Oh yeah. Can never call his name.
Wait, it's the guy, isn't he the guy that played the fucking voodoo dude in Major League?
Serrano.
Yeah. So it's that guy's the Fly's voice. So he's got like this deep voice, and weirdly and very oddly, the Fly and the chick from the Rescue Rangers hooked up and had a bunch of kids, and that's weird. But
that's very.
But he's got that deep voice, Steve. So he must be packing a big ass fly dong. So
Dennis Haysbert.
There you go. He's in it. He's all. I mean, like I said, I didn't expect shit from this. But it's, I mean, cheesy. It's a kids movie, but they throw some adult shit in there in the way that all good cartoon movies do. And hour and a half, not too long, good callbacks, good ending. I was like, damn, dude. I wish
It's got
if they
some
do
hitters.
reboots that they would do it like that.
It's got some hitters, man. Seth Rogen, J.K. Simmons, Tim Robinson, Keegan Michael Key.
I didn't even realize Keegan Michael Key was in the shit.
He's the frog co-worker, they say.
Oh, okay. He's just in it very briefly, but it's good. Check it out, Steve. It isn't one of these shitty reboots that we've been treated to recently. This one actually kills it, and it doesn't take up a lot of your time either. So,
for some reason, I feel like Launchpad McQuack was in this. Was he in the cartoon?
he was in DuckTales, and I think he was also in Tailspin.
He was, and that's why I was like, I felt like he was a utility player. He just like pop up, kind of like how Urkel would be on Full House some episodes. Like, hey.
And also Disney kind of takes some meta jibes at themselves. Like there's like, they show like, because Dale is now 3D. He got CGI surgery to be more modern. So
Wow.
like they show Baloo from like Jungle Book in it too as a CG character. And they sort of like make like some cartoons chose not to do that, but they're like, yeah, all these people doing this, it's just, you know, shameless. They're just trying to redo the movies just by making them 3D and stuff. They actually like sort of make a joke about that too. I thought was kind of cool.
Man.
So
and Disney, it just came out.
Who knows? They're kind of, you might be sick of the Marvel, like they own everything, but I don't know. Some of the Star Wars shit they've been putting out has been really good. I like the Marvel shit, and that was the Chip and Dale's thing. Fantastic.
Yeah. Now, you know a ranger who could use some rescuing?
That Red Ranger, Steve.
It's like we're telepathic, man.
I mean, dude, I can't, Jason, dude. Come on,
you're the leader,
bro. I mean, this is what I don't understand why somebody, if you're even a celebrity at all, or you could even at some people have fans, don't do this dirty shit. You know, like how stupid do you gotta be
to be down with PPP? Yeah, you know me. Like, was he at the
surprised.
90s convention?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, dude, that guy straight up at any comic book convention I've ever gone to with Kendra in like 3 to maybe even like the last 6 years, you see different, there's a lot of Power Rangers, you know, they've had different groups over the years.
Yeah.
But as far as like the old school ones, him, the Billy, and the Black Ranger,
Zach.
Yeah, Zach. Those are the ones you always see quite a bit. And I mean, I don't know, dude. That's just crazy though, because I think he could potentially go away for quite some time.
20 years.
God, I hope it was worth it.
Well, he's still doing those conventions, so clearly not.
You gotta pay for the lawyers now, dude. He's
No
gonna do a lot more than
convention.
He's gonna be having an OnlyFans page and be busting fucking Mighty Morphin loads all over the place.
And every time you saw him, he was more stressed.
I mean, dude,
sweating bullets.
Dude, like, I mean, it's all the Rangers like seem to have really kept it together. And he just looks like some guy that like maybe taught gym in Ohio someplace. You know, he never really kept it together that well anyway. And shame on you, Jason. You used to be my favorite.
Really?
Until Green Ranger came, and then, you know.
We know who the real boss is.
You can't ignore those long locks, Steve.
And he'll really fuck you up, Jason Frank.
I mean, that dude's had some MMA fight. Yeah. Hey, fucking Green Ranger, fuck Red Ranger up. Teach him a lesson. Fucking spark his ass up.
Fun fact about Austin St. John, aka Red Ranger, we share birthdays. September 17, 1974.
His name isn't really even Austin St. John, Steve. That's just a clever porn-like name that he came up with when he came to Hollywood.
Jason Lawrence Geiger.
Yeah, I don't see. That sounds more right. And you know, let that be a lesson. All the other Power Rangers, just start an OnlyFans page at this point. Some solo bust sessions, a light diddling, if you will, and that you're going to have a lot more money. That's for sure. And you're not going to jail.
Man, what do you think about that interview we did last week with Tuttle, the Tuttle podcast, the Tuttle show down in Florida?
I mean, I was terrified of the anger I saw when I accidentally logged on to the show, but I thought it went great. I mean, I feel like they posed some questions that were very personal to some of the people that were involved, and not knowing either of them, I felt a little bit less than excited to answer the way I wanted to, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
I get that, like, this is his shtick. A big part of like what we experienced was a shtick, I feel, because he even said he has like 20 plus years in radio, and he's got a little bit of a Howard-like energy to him, to where he's trying to be shock jockey. And I feel like you're only shock jockey in that situation if we allowed it. And dude, we say weird shit all the time on our show and in real life. But I was here for it. Let's make this shit even weird. Are you mad at us, Tuttle, that we came on early? Please flog us. We deserve it, man. Please, sir, may I have another?
Have an audio green room, guys. Don't just drop it. Don't let me hit a link and then just drop me into a show. I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, and also don't send out invites with 2 fucking time zones. We're both in Eastern. He's in Florida. You're in Virginia. I'm in Atlanta. There's no need for Pacific. Who gives a fuck? Everybody is on Eastern Standard Time.
Well, lessons learned, Steve. But I'm looking forward to our next sesh on the Tuttle show. I can't wait. And I'll be, now that I know what to expect, I'll just go crazy. I'll just say what I would say to you behind closed doors. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get invited back, man. And another thing, dude, I could tell when somebody's bullshitting. They like, I don't know, maybe he's listened to some of our show, but like when people reach out to us on these different websites and stuff, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, I love what you guys are doing. The 90s. Yeah, Michael Jordan and pagers. Great stuff, man.
Dream team. Great. Can you come on?
Yeah.
Hey, can you give me an idea for a show too, by the way?
For real. Like, I love the dynamic that you guys have. The 90s, man. Christian Slater and fucking the Smurfs.
Hey, Steve, you're black. Talk about that.
Yeah.
What's that?
So what's it like? That whole black thing. What's it about?
What's it like to talk to Matt, who's clearly so white? What is that like? What's that dynamic?
I love the dynamic that you have, because like you're doing this black thing, he's doing the white guy thing.
He's white, man, he's white as shit, you're black as shit. I mean, this is destined for fame right here.
Yeah, man.
BP's research and testing tends to leave an impression on most visitors.
4th floor, aviation fuel research. 6th floor, marine fuel testing.
And we put this research to use in a very practical place, your local BP station.
Pizza for Todd King. Top floor.
Top floor, space research.
BP, on the move.
Hey, boys and girls, this is Steve G and Matt G with Happen in the 90s, a show where we talk about things that happen in the 90s. So get out your Willie Mays Hayes jerseys and your Big League Chew, because I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I'll shine. I'll shine. I'll shine.
Damn, Steve. Do you got a woman in the room there? You trying to get some pussy, Steve?
Looking for a mirror. Whoa, this is cool. Yeah.
He looks like Jesus.
Bankhead bounce for Chris Cornell. Today, my friend, we are talking about all things May 26 in the 90s.
Banger.
Starting off with 1990, the Tracy Ullman Show series has its finale, Forever Ever, on Fox. And I remember watching this. This is early Fox days. And I mean, obviously, it's more famous for introducing us to the So crude.
It's crazy.
Look at the drawing.
Like sea urchins.
Like, yeah. Bart has a sawed-off fade.
Got a fuck
seahorses who identify as the
where's
Simpsons.
his brain at? His head's not tall enough. Looks like he got fucking like decapitated almost, or whatever, Hannibaled.
Lisa and Maggie look like those little pom poms from those McDonald's commercials.
The Fry Guys, dude.
Were they Fry Guys? I feel like they were
guys.
pom pom.
I think those were Fry Guys.
Those were separate. Like the Fry Guys, they were a box of fries, and then like they were like some little like cheerleader pom pom things that just I don't think they were a food.
I don't know. I mean, I remember them. I remember them at the play place, but I always thought they were Fry Guys, but I could be wrong. I was just happy to be eating them McNuggets. So,
and you know, some foundation is being set. Julie Kavner, it was one of the cast members just behind me, and it's considered one of the greatest like sketch shows in American television history, man.
I mean, they used to play it on Comedy Central. That's where I saw it. I never watched it when it was on Fox, but I used to like check it out a little bit when it was on Comedy Central because I think it was like that. And then they played Kids in the Hall, which shout out to Kids in the Hall. They have they made new episodes of that show and it's on Amazon Prime and it's funny as fuck too. So check that out if you like that show.
Produced by Lauren.
Oh yeah, it's same cast. They got all the cast. They're doing the characters. I mean, and they even reference like the shit, like the movie Brain Candy that they did in the 90s, like that when they were sort of at the height of their fame and shit. We watched actually we only watched 1 or 2 episodes, but they're raunchy as fuck and they're funny. So check that out.
If only I had Amazon. I can't get them all, man.
A lot of dicks in it though. There's like literally a scene where these guys are like they rob a store and they get in a getaway car and the cops surround them and the guy's about to get out of the car and the other guy's like, wait a second, these guys are expecting robbers with clothes on, so take off your clothes and we'll get away. And they do that and they get out of the car and they're just like jumping around with their dicks out. I mean, it's wild. It's some old ass dick, but it's hilarious.
Hey,
so
phallic
you're
humor.
missing out on that, Steve. So check that out.
Trusty. Yeah. Never gets stale. But you know, somebody who probably didn't watch this series finale of Tracy Ullman Show is probably future Baseball Hall of Fame third baseman Mike Schmidt. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you did though. You never know. I think you're out of turn saying Mike Schmidt didn't watch Tracy Ullman.
Nah, man. He had no time for television. He was too busy getting 12 All-Star selections, winning World Series, getting MVPs, Golden Glove Awards, Silver Slugger Awards. And on this day, 1990, May 26, the Philadelphia Phillies are retiring his number 20.
Schmitty, Philly legend.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the Phillies, Steve, but look at that mustache.
Look at that mustache.
I mean, I feel like Schmidt and I. Should I play Mike Schmidt in the fucking biography?
Tom Selleck is blushing.
Look at this guy. Fucking dude. Why were people looking so old back in the day? I don't understand. What was he, 20 something, 30 something in this fucking photo? He looks like he's 50 years old. I mean, I guess he.
Well, I mean, this is the end of his career. Yeah, so yeah.
Still, I mean, you shouldn't be looking that old.
I mean, living in Philly can age you, I'm sure.
That's all, yeah, dude. Yeah, it certainly could. Go Birds.
Now, 1993, Beavis and Butt-Head, I believe they're in their first season still, and they're airing the episode Way Down Mexico Way. Beavis and Butt-Head take a trip to Mexico, and on their way back to the States, they are questioned by border agents.
I mean, this is gold, Steve. A lot of racism, just a lot of poop humor, but I loved it.
Yeah. And more crude animation.
Yeah, it's Dave, the guy who gives him a ride. He looks like some kind of Muppet that they've drawn weird, like a crackhead Muppet almost.
It's like Bleedy Gums Murphy without.
It is. It fucking is.
without the lessons.
Meth Mouth Murphy, dude.
Man, you go to Mexico, man, you don't want to do them wrong, man.
So, I mean, this starts off and we just get like this weird mariachi. They're just like, I can't say mariachi music, Steve. I can't say the word right.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Take over. I don't want to say it anymore to embarrass myself.
It's sounding very Midwestern.
Mariachi.
Well, they're doing their channel flip, and they turn to Video Wonderland, and it's some fake. What was the dude? Kurt Loder, motherfucker. They call him a chode. Oh, they call him a chode smoker, and yeah, the first video is Wall of Voodoo with Mexican radio. That sounds racist.
Mexican radio. I don't even get. Yeah, I don't get why the choices were being made for in the 90s for this kind of shit.
Yeah. Somehow they have a conversation about cows having 4 different butts. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have 4 separate butts and they chew their crud. So I don't think that's scientifically exactly right, but they're almost there. They paid attention for like 2 minutes.
And after that is a Pantera video, Psycho Holiday. And, they both concur that there are too many dudes in this video. They need more chicks.
Fucking sucks.
And they hitch a ride on a pickup truck to Mexico. And the guy's telling him they don't take any prisoners. Well, sometimes they do. And they got fireworks. They got white slaves. They got twerking midgets. And they just overlook and overhear all of that. And they're just like, yeah, they got fireworks.
Yeah, but Dave's not giving them free rides, Steve. It's not, you're just not fucking going down there for free. They're going to have to do some work for him when they go back. But like you said, they're just like, fuck it, fireworks and hot sauce. Let's do this. And they get dropped off in the ghetto of what I guess is Tijuana, I think is what they say. And they don't speak the Espanol, Steve. It's a little rough. I think they might have insulted a couple people immediately upon getting there and trying to order some tacos. And I think the guy maybe takes a little bit of offense to them, just talking about maybe the quality of the place they're at, and just overloads their burritos or tacos with some hot sauce.
I mean, this is like right after he saw them feed this dog all of the hot sauce, sending him to doggy heaven in the process.
I mean, these guys are killing animals. These guys are menaces, but they eat the hot sauce. They're blasted out. The fucking grill is just on fire. So what better way to quench their thirst than some Mexican water, which we all know is just not you just don't want to do that, but they do. And then they end up on the toilet, Steve. They're twerking on that toilet.
Then we cut back to another video session, and this time it's Afra Haza with the song Nin Alu. I don't know.
It's very. She's wearing money. They're just like making. I love that shit, dude. I like what they allowed to be on TV was fantastic.
Is this video about Jesus Christ? Christ is cool.
Yeah, but this cut to another video, and it's like chains and chicks. I don't remember who it was, but that's what they say.
Psycho Sluts from Hell with the song I Wish You Were a Beer.
Sluts are cool.
Beavis, have you ever drank a beer before? Yeah. Where did you get it from?
And then back in Mexico, like, they're on the toilet, Steve. And then they basically are just laughing and shitting and, just what I expect would happen when you drink that water. You just have some explosiveness happening there, some fire shits.
And we're back to another video, and they're watching Depeche Mode. I Feel You. And Butthead says Depeche Mode is French for we're wussies.
Sometimes there's like hot chicks in the video, but then there's some guy in some like leather vest that looks kind of like Gallagher that just is slowly disrobing, and it's a little, I don't like it. It's a little much.
And I noticed in these early seasons, Beavis and Butthead walk like Mr. Burns. I just can't like they look like how those Simpsons characters look in their infant stages.
Yeah, I mean, they had some kinks to work out in the animation for sure. So they get out of the toilet. They are walking around. They're trying to find these fireworks, Steve. And on the way to find them, they see these kids that are hanging out. They're hitting a piñata. And instead of just enjoying the show, seeing what happens, Butthead just jacks one of the piñata sticks and hits this kid directly in the head. I mean, he might have killed his ass. I don't know. That's my
basically, he impaled this kid's head. It was a huge tree branch.
But he had to, Steve, because they had a box of fireworks and they don't have any money. So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So that kid's dead, but they got the fireworks. So let's get out of here. Let's go home. Let's get back to America, US of A.
And watch Rico Suave. Adi, adi, adi. I feel like that was like if Dan Cortez had a R&B / rap group.
I mean, the guy looks like Dan Cortez, but I mean, who can hate on Rico Suave? I mean, that's just right up there with Du Hast, dude. Fucking what was that? Rammstein is German. Rammstein. Du Hast is the same thing as Gerardo Rico Suave. It's really the same song, just a different language, and it's all the language of love, Steve.
And that was followed by Ministry's song NWO. And I fucked with Ministry. I actually had their album, the album that had NWO. And very interesting, man. They were pretty industrial. They were considered like rock, alternative rock at the same time. And it's really one man. It's kind of like a Trent Reznor approach, man. I believe his name is Al Jurgens or Al Jurgensen. Jurgens. Yeah, Ministry's got some pretty cool shit, and then that's followed by Soundgarden, and like, hey, this is the grunge movement. It's 93, and Beavis and Butt-Head are all on board with Outshine.
Dude, that's the video is tight. That song is just nasty, dude. Just that riff. Soundgarden might be. I mean, it's one of the first CDs I ever bought. One of the first albums I ever bought for myself, and man, I used to love me some fucking Soundgarden. Super Unknown to this day. That and whatever came after that.
Bad Motorfinger.
I think that's what it was. Those two just on rotation. I mean, even to this day.
I'm feeling Minnesota.
Dude, fucking rest in peace, Scott Cornell, dude. You fucking bad motherfucker.
Marijuana affects the memory.
He was like a Robert Plant of our era.
And I mean, he succeeded even some of his, like, he had that solo shit, he had Audio Slave, and he just was always, he's one of those voices that, I mean, he's dead and he's still a legend, dude. It's never going to go away. He was meant to do that.
Can't replicate, man.
If he was like just some guy working in an office, like doing paperwork, that would have been think of that. Like, what a tragedy that would have been.
Gotta make a copy.
Need a TPS report. I'm gonna have a turkey sandwich. But Beavis and Butt-Head love it. They think Cornell looks like Jesus. He does. He might be. Who knows? And then Dave comes back. He's in a hurry. You know, he's been doing some dirt down there. He's been getting some Mexican Percocets on the cheap. So Beavis and Butt-Head hop in the car, and Dave's like, payment time, guys. Here's some Magnum condoms. Fill these shits up with these Mexican perks, and let's swallow them shits. And don't forget to double wrap them and fucking tie a knot so they don't fucking come out loose. And I don't think they did that, Steve. I don't think
they ingested all of those Dr. Mario pills, and they ended up getting stopped at the border. Meanwhile, they're knocked on their ass from all of those pills they just took. And they're being questioned by Border Patrol. And one of the questions that they asked them is, what is the capital of Texas? And even sober, Beavis and Butt-Head wouldn't know this. They're just out in La La Land.
They're just
And
pilled the fuck up, dude.
Yeah. And eventually they come to the agreement that, like, hey, they're not Mexican. Mexicans would be more concerned.
They know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty apparent that they're not Mexican. And if they were Mexican, they would be concerned about being interrogated by Border Patrol, as opposed to just being Looney Tunes rolling around on the floor.
I mean, what's more American, Steve, than just being pilled the fuck out? You know what I'm saying? It's pretty.
Not knowing capitals.
I'd let them in. I'd be like, you know what, guys, you check out, get out there.
Yeah, good old America. And go back to another video, and it's AC/DC with Highway to Hell. And Butthead thinks Brian Johnson looks constipated all the time. Beavis says, because he's old.
And are they soaking? Yeah, they are soaking their feet, because actually once they got through the border thing, Dave just made them walk home. Yeah. So I think they live in Lawndale, and it's a pretty far walk. So I think they walked about from Tijuana to LA, Steve. So,
but they were able to bring the fireworks back. So score.
Let's light them shits up. Let's fucking blow our hands off, Steve. It's
Mexico fucking way. So now they're watching some Stank Williams III, Fart Brooks, honky tonk man shit called Adios to Mexico. Butthead said, these guys are all sexual perverts.
And that's it, Steve. But that was, I mean, I love that episode. And that, like, how much music, I feel like there was a shit ton more music videos in that episode than I remember. Usually it was like 2 or like 4. And I think what we do, like 8.
Yeah, well, this one was a full episode. I think they, like, some episodes were like 2.
Oh,
like,
you are right. Yeah, you're right.
Like they would be like mini episodes, whereas this one was continuing throughout the whole thing. Please like, share, and subscribe for more recipes on how to cook crack.
Mama might crack like this.
Now, also in 1993, Menace to Society premiered in theaters. A young street hustler attempts to escape the rigors and temptations of the ghetto in a quest for a better life. Starring Tyrin Turner, Larenz Tate, Samuel Jackson, Anthony Johnson, Glenn Plummer, Reginald Ballard, Candy Alexander, and Jada Pinkett.
Throw shade on Ronnie like that, Steve.
Fuck Ronnie. Fucking she's not even faithful to her dude in this movie. In 93, she showed the signs. You can't even hold him down.
Purnell fucking gave the blessing, Steve. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey man, I just see possible holes and I try to scurry in there.
But I mean, this is one of those classics, Steve. We've thought about doing a versus of, I don't know what you would call this subsection of like drama,
hood
like
movies,
gang movie, thug movies. Yeah. Now, here's my question. Like, this is a movie about thugs, right? But like a movie like New Jack City is half thug, half cop. So do these come in the same? Would I put those two movies in the same list?
They're hood movies, man, not thug or gangster. I mean, you could consider them gangster, just like you would consider Goodfellas gangster. And ironically, Goodfellas was an inspiration to Menace to Society. And you can tell even in the narration and how characters are introduced from the very beginning, man. The Hughes brothers even admitted that Goodfellas, they wanted to use something that was already tried and true so they could be accepted by a broader audience, man. And they basically took some of that formula and applied it to like a hood movie.
Well, that shit works. This movie's good. But like I said to you, there's a lot of these in the 90s, and there's a lot of these just that you and I both have the same kind of taste. So I think we both absorbed all of these. And here, let me pull my list that I wrote. I wrote 10 movies that I sort of think about when I think of movies like this. They aren't all 90s, but let me get to it. So like a movie like Juice. Same kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? So
Yeah.
there's a movie called Paid in Full with like Cameron's in it. It's a little newer.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a
That was
90s.
2000s.
Yeah,
That was
so
2000s. State Property was 2000s.
mm.
Anything
But
Beanie
yeah, I
Siegel
mean,
was
but
2000.
still, I'm just saying, like, if we're talking, like, let's keep the. I get we're talking about 90s shit. This is movies in the 90s, but in terms of like a list of my favorites, some of them go outside of that. State Property would definitely be in there, someplace. I feel like State Property. It's like the movie Choices. It's not good, but you just love it. It's quotable and it's just memorable in some way. But is it good? I don't know.
Paper Soldiers is hilarious. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen like that's a movie I saw on HBO like one time. But isn't like Kevin Hart in that and shit?
Yeah, he's one of the main characters. It's him and Beanie Siegel.
But this movie is dope. I don't think this movie. I watched Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, which shares a lot of characters. It shares a lot of like the same story plots and shit. And it's a spoof movie, and it uses this a lot. So. And I think I conflated the two a lot because I didn't. Don't Be a Menace to Society. I watched it maybe twice, but I moved on. Like there were other movies that I think I never really came back to this. But watching it again, it's fucking dope. I mean, it's one of the best ones.
It's Larenz Tate's first feature film debut, as well as Jada Pinkett. Tupac Shakur was actually going to be in this movie as the conscious brother Sharif. And he had some issues with the backstory, and he wanted to display like why Sharif was the way he was. If I'm going to be this conscious guy, I'm not going to be a punk. Like I want to, like they should know the backstory and like how wild he was and how he got basically sat down and he's reformed himself. And the Hughes brothers were like, no, we're not doing all that shit. And so it became an altercation, and they actually got into a fight, Tupac and the Hughes brothers.
Damn.
And, yeah, there's a memorable interview on Yo MTV Raps with Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, where Tupac is accompanied by John Singleton, and they're promoting for Poetic Justice, which also came out this year in '93. And he found it. This was his opportunity to talk his shit about the Hughes brothers.
Damn, dude, I didn't know that. But that kind of, I mean, that's just wild, dude. He was gonna play Sharif. I was like, man, if he would like the character Larenz Tate plays is basically the same character he plays in Juice. Just a guy who's just like too wild. He doesn't give a
wild
fuck.
Card.
Yeah, O-Dog, I would never want to be affiliated. This guy is just too much from the get-go, Steve. I mean, sure, we're the Korean convenience store owners, pressing a little too hard. Yeah, I get it.
They were profiling. They
were doing it, and they deserve to get, a little back and forth with. But I mean, we start this movie off with fucking O-Dog just straight murdering a convenience store owner and his wife, stealing a little bit of money, and it was all just because the guy said something about his mama, Steve.
I feel so sorry for your mother.
What did you say about my mama? I mean, and that's what I mean. So not only does that happen, fucking the Caine, who is his best buddy, who is right behind Steve's head, just, he's there. He's a part of it now. And luckily O-Dog has the forethought to get the fucking videotape, surveillance tape, and take that with them. So that happens. And then that's basically the beginning of this fucking movie. It's just a cold-blooded liquor store murder. And here we are, Steve, right in Watts, 1993. You said
1993, yeah. And he just can't keep it to himself, man. He wants to show all the homies, and he wants to play back. He wants to make copies. He wants to be the best thing smoking on the fucking.
He wants to sell the shit like Too Hot for TV, Steve. He's trying to sell it for $60. Respect the hustle. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'd want to watch it just once, just like we all would. But I'd be like, damn, this guy's trying to fucking have an empire started on a murder tape.
And Caine just graduated high school. I think he had a wilder last summer of high school than we did, man. We had fun, but he caught a body.
I mean, I was having a little, a couple of BJs, a couple of diddles in a hammock, but nothing like this. The liquor
Some
store
makeshift
we went
bowls.
to was a gas station with a very old blind man who just was willy-nilly about the liquor laws. So this was terrifying, Steve. If I was Caine, I'd be in my room crying, terrified that O-Dog was going to come kill me. You know, I'd really be scared at that point because I wouldn't be able to hold it together.
But Caine's a rider, man.
Yeah, he's definitely that. And Caine came up hard, Steve. Caine's dad, Samuel L. Jackson, not a nice guy, not a great human being. He's a dope dealer.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, this motherfucker's, he's definitely, you don't want to fuck his money up, pay the man on time. He's got some good dope, which is why Caine's mom is with him. She's a dope fiend.
Yeah.
And we see her tie off. And he's, as a child, like, I think, what is he, like 3, 4? I don't know how. He's a young kid, 4 or 5 years old. And he sees his mom all fucking dope the fuck up. His dad fucking just Samuel L. Jackson just blows the guy's head off. I mean, right there.
He's
He's
ain't
like,
got
Caine,
my money yet.
Caine. Like, fucking God. No wonder this dude doesn't give a fuck. So at some point, Caine is transferred to his grandparents. He lives with his grandma and his granddad, who are very Christian, very nice people.
And they just want the best for their grandson.
Yeah. What they don't want is him going to a liquor store and his buddy blowing the fuck out of somebody for like $90. So that's not cool.
And they see, like, the grandpa sees right through the bullshit. It's like, man, I ain't never killed nobody. No, I heard about you.
Yeah, I mean, like, Watts ain't that big, dude. And you're out here fucking advertising a murder like you're a fucking celebrity. I mean, this is the kind of shit, Steve. This is where, like, this is another storyline in Juice too, where it's like a guy does some shit, and then because he does this around a bunch of other people, you have to either like be cool with it or you're about to get killed. You know, so that ain't nice.
Yeah.
But luckily, Caine's not really easy. Brush it off, Steve. He's pretty good.
Well,
I'd be, like I said, I'd be like terrified. He's just like, you know what? Let me just get a drink real quick. I just need to just cool off. I'll be good.
He's carefree, man. You know, fresh out of high school. He walked that stage. He wants to let his hair down. This is going to be a summer of 40 drinking and blunt smoking and bitch fucking.
I mean, that party they go to like a little graduation fucking thing, and the ratio's good, Steve. I mean, the ratio I saw in that first initial party, we would have killed for that in college. Usually it was just like 30 fucking gross, sweaty white dudes smoking cigarettes in a farmhouse. Maybe a couple of gaggle of bitches would walk through. This was just like 1 for 1, Steve.
And he's got his cousin, one of his favorite cousins, man. They're partying, man. Like, dude, let's do it up tonight.
He's from Long Beach, dude. He's from LBC, bro.
Long time no see ya. And, you know, his cousin didn't make it through the night. He basically got jacked. He had a clean ass ride, and the Jag boys pulled up on him. And, you know, his cousin, I think his name is Henry. He tried to make a move on him, man, but hey, they were quicker. Yeah. And Caine gets shot in the process. They end up going to the hospital. Luckily, the homies were nearby and took him to the ER. But they got revenge. They found those guys. O-Dog had the drop on them, and as they're picking up their glizzies on a stick and fries, they get caught slipping their damn selves.
And I mean, Caine takes a bullet to the shoulder, Steve. And he wakes up and gets up and goes about his business like it's nothing. Even shows, I mean, when he shows up and talks to O-Dog after like, don't they kill the guy after he gets out of the, like, because he kills the guy with him, right?
Yeah, they get out of the hospital, and then so MCH character AWACS, he's the driver, and you know they're basically, you know, waiting out. They're at this little food spot, this food stand. And they basically pull up, man, and it's O-Dog, Caine, and AWACS. And AWACS, he gets the final shot. And one of the dudes tries to creep away. He was like, "Hey, man, you need some help, buddy?"
Yeah, that shit's cold-blooded as fuck, dude. Plus, when they're all like fucking masked up and shit, that whole scene is just nasty as fuck. And also,
Well,
did we pass over? No, wait, I'm going ahead. But yeah, so they get revenge, and Caine just like, you know what? What I realized when I killed that dude is I can just kill a guy and be cool with that shit. So, and
got that
peace
one
out.
under my belt.
Yeah, I know I could do it again, which I mean, he didn't learn his lesson. So, they visit. Caine goes and visits Ronnie, Jada Pinkett Smith, character in this movie. She's looking hot though. I mean, Steve, I know we don't like the woman, but the character, goddamn.
I've never taken that from the woman, even now, with her bald head.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I will say, I mentioned this movie before, but Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, she's in that. And she almost has a bald head, and she's looking fine. So, shout out to JJ Pinkett. And but basically, Ronnie is Caine's mentor's baby's daddy, mama. So she's like, he shouldn't be romantic, but Purnell, the baby daddy, is in jail. He basically brought Caine up in the streets, taught him how to be a man, basically, in whatever way he could, how to be a gangster. And now Purnell's just sort of like, it's just like a weird vibe. He's trying to like take care of her and make sure she's cool. He tries to like hide money in her drawer and shit, but you can tell that they want to fuck. So
you ain't got to say too much. I can look in your eyes. And her little son, Anthony, I'm sure he reminds Caine of himself when he was younger. He wants a sip of that malt liquor. He wants to hit the blunt. What is that? I want to cuss. Watch me cuss, Caine.
Yeah. Hey, let me have some of that. Can I get a beer?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to do a drive-by in my big wheel. Get out of my way.
And Caine is like sort of a father figure to this kid. I think the kid's name's Anthony.
Anthony, yeah.
So we kind of see that relationship, the beginnings of, or like that blossoming during this movie. But back at a crack house, Wax is speaking with a familiar face from a spoof movie of this, the I Got Cheeseburgers guy. I didn't realize that they straight up took that from this movie. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's some shit in Don't Be a Menace to South Central that is just straight up exactly as it happened here. So
yeah, I mean, that movie is full of those, man.
Yeah. And so the I Got Cheeseburgers guy, he's down a couple of bucks, Steve, like, as always. He doesn't have cheeseburgers yet, but he's just hoping to get some crack. I think he gives out $2, but he's just basically there. He's just hanging out. He's a hanger on at this point.
He's shortchanging, man. And old dog's like, man, you ain't got no money. Get the fuck out of my face.
I mean, as a crackhead, you got to understand these things, Steve. It just always gets to this point. You're down a couple bucks. Maybe you got a loose cheeseburger in a bag. Maybe that's not enough, but maybe a cheeseburger and putting your mouth on a guy's dick. That's exactly how much it costs to get a couple of crack rocks, So
if that is your drug dealer's thing,
I mean, that's a Hail Mary pass, because that could go a lot of different ways, as we see. But word to the wise, but that has to be part of your arsenal as a crackhead. That's when it gets really desperate. Just throw a dick suck out there and see what happens.
Yeah, man. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Amen there, Steve. Caine and Ronnie sort of, one thing that she doesn't like is that he's constantly like sort of showing this kid fucked up shit. There's maybe a beer around he's giving out. Maybe he has a gun and he's letting the kid play with the gun.
A real gun.
Exactly. He checked it, Steve. But again, I just don't know. Little Anthony, let him play some video games. Let him play violent video games, but don't put a gat in his hand. Let's stop that.
Although he will need to practice with that at some point in his life.
Yeah, you're gonna need. Maybe you're right. Maybe just face reality and just get this kid make him a crack shot so nobody shows up.
And there's also their friend Stacy we haven't mentioned. He's got apparently a ride. I don't know if it was a full ride scholarship, and they're going somewhere in the Midwest, I believe Kansas. Stacy's a football player, and he already has children. He's in high school, and he already has a couple, more than one. Stacy's a ladies' man, and we're also introduced to Lena, who Caine runs into at the picnic. You know, he gets the macking, and Stacy's kind of hating, like, man, look at Caine over there trying to be me and shit. And you know, yeah, man, he gets the macking, and he got the digits, and he got them draws, and he'll pay for it later. We're also introduced to Charles S. Dutton's character. He's Sharif's dad, Mr. Butler, and you know, he was familiar with the streets in his earlier days, and you know, now he's a responsible father and a teacher. He's a teacher at the high school that they just graduated from.
But he's like the cool dad. He's like, yeah, I used to smoke a little marijuana from time to time, so you don't have to put it out.
Reefer. That's, you know, that's what the dads at that in that era would use.
I used to have a little of that hashish. You know what I'm talking about.
And you know, they're grilling him about his son. Like, man, was he always like this? He's like, look, man, I don't agree with all of the stuff, the Islam stuff that, you know, that he channels, but I do see the benefit in how it's made him become a better person and essentially a better man in the long run. I don't have to subscribe to everything that my son is about, but it works for him.
Yeah, he's just like he's the best guy in this movie. He's learned his lesson. Loves his son. He's not one of these guys that's trying to press like Christianity. He's like, like you said, he's like, I don't like a lot of that shit, but he's better. Yeah. So you need to fucking pay attention to this kid. He's a good kid. But let me hit that weed a little bit. Let me get a little toke of that.
Yeah, a little bit of that reefers. And yeah, man. Have we met Chauncey yet? Played by Clifton Powell.
Clifton Powell. Say it again, Steve. Say it. Oh shit!
You ain't got no gun. Where the weed at? And this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
That's the best fucking photo, Steve. That's gonna be the poster.
Oh man, yeah, dude. This is like one of my favorite scenes in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, you know, he's one of O-Dog's. They have like this little group. It's not necessarily a gang. They hang out. They're in the same little team. And he's got this little thing with this white, like slick little white dude where this guy's like giving him a GTA mission. He's like, I gotta get this Nissan, but it has to be tip top or I can't sell it to I can't fucking get my insurance money. So he's trying to be like slick little Willie and then completely just gets bitched the fuck out by Clifton. He's just like, man, shut up, you little bitch ass motherfucker.
Like the shit I found hilarious was like, he came at the time Chauncey told him to come. And he was like, but you told me to come here at 2:00. Man, shut your ass up.
Man, you scared to come into the hood? You scared? No, I'm fine. But they got to steal a car. So even though, Caine's been getting all this fucking like talk about moving on, maybe possibly moving or going to Kansas or just getting out of the hood, Steve. O-Dog's like, yo, you ready to go steal this car? And he is. This guy is a rider, Steve. If you have a gang, you want a guy like this because been shot multiple times. His one boy got fucking smoked at a party, but he's still completely down for the game. And they go to steal a car. And unfortunately, I don't know if there was a cop, there was some sort of informant, but they are instantly fucking caught.
The operator at the parking garage, he sees all of this go down, and he's got a phone in that booth somehow, some way, and the cops are basically waiting on him. They couldn't escape. They sick the dogs on him, and the dogs locate him. And I don't know if this is before or after Caine jacks a guy at the fucking like Jack in the Box drive-through or some shit. And he makes some he wants his Dayton's because the dude had some clean rims, and he makes him order some food for him too.
Yeah, he fucking carjacks a guy in a drive-through. So he's like, yo, man, I want those rims and I need a large fry too. So make sure you give me a large fucking fry. So like, this dude's about it, Steve. He gets the rims, and that's how he gets Alina too, because he's riding in that fucking clean ass car and he shows up to the park and he's like, what's up? You know, and she's obviously into that. So again, he's quick to commit a crime. Clearly, you know, all these lessons that people are trying to teach him aren't getting through just yet. Maybe a couple more gunshots and he'll figure it out, you know?
Man.
But they get locked up. Wax, or I don't know if does Wax get locked up too? I know O-Dog and Caine get arrested whenever they try to get the car.
Yeah, that's never really covered. Because like AWAX was supposed to be like the lookout guy, you know. He probably kind of like, oh man, he saw all of that unfold. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
O-Dog's a minor, so this cold-blooded killer is not 18 yet. So they just have to let him off, Steve. Apparently that's the rule.
O-Dog was 15.
That's insane. So he gets off. He doesn't even do shit. Caine has to stay in jail for a little bit, but he gets out. You know, you didn't even really steal a car. You know, luckily in the 90s, all you needed was a screwdriver. That was the beauty of the night. You didn't need some crazy contraption. You're just like, all right, we're good. Let's go.
Unless someone had the club.
There you go. But I feel like there was a way, Steve. The club, that piece of machinery, there had to have been a way to get that off.
Telly Savalas wouldn't be endorsing no shoddy shit. Who loves you, baby?
Hey, you are right. You're right. But they get out, and the next day, we see the dick sucking cheeseburger guy offer up that mouth, Steve. But O-Dog is not one of the drug dealers who's really into getting oral sex from a male crackhead, and instead just shoots him. And that's not, you know, I mean, just do something, hit the guy in the stomach, O-Dog. Is it always with the guns?
Just the crackhead was just one X chromosome away from staying alive.
Come on, man. I mean, I gotta say, that guy deteriorates in like 2 days from, hey man, I just have $2 to, come on, man. The fucking struggle is real on crack, I guess. 2 days makes all the difference in the world.
And you know what? It further proves the point that functioning crackheads are an anomaly, man. You deserve a bankhead bounce, functioning crackheads. How do you do it?
Salute to you guys, because I mean, I can't, even an alcoholic I salute, but to a crackhead, goddamn. You got a job, you got a day job, you're working at a bank smoking some crack.
Man,
I mean, that's what I always thought about Marion Barry, the mayor. I was like, this guy's a mayor. I mean, he's still doing the job. He's just hitting the fucking crack pipe, and we don't even know what was in that pipe, Steve.
And it's not like Washington, D.C. is Wapakoneta, Ohio. It's a lot of people to govern.
Yeah. And so after they shoot this crackhead, they get busted again. They get thrown in jail. And the one thing that is hanging over this whole thing that Steve mentioned previously is that O-Dog is just selling this fucking tape out. He's showing everybody he can this tape of him killing this Korean store owner and his wife. And so now we get to one of the most famous thug or hood movie scenes of all time, where this fucking dude from Predator, what is his goddamn name?
Bill Duke, one of the blackest people of all time, one of the most coolest, deepest. He's just got like this vibe. He's just cool. He's in all the fucking 90s movies, all the 80s movies. He's always just a straight fucking hoss thug dude, right? And he was in Car Wash way back in the day before all of that.
And he's interrogating Caine, and he's just tripping him up. He's throwing zingers at him. He's good cop and bad cop, nice guy, you know, not nice guy. And he's tying him up in knots. And finally, Caine, I forget what the flub is. He says something, and Bill Duke's just like, now you know you done fucked up. You know you fucked up. And then he just keeps saying that. I mean, it's tense, Steve. Caine, while he is 100% gangster, he doesn't fucking get busted. He doesn't crack.
Yeah.
But
He did get slipped up a little bit, but he's wet. He's green behind the ears, and he just graduated high school. He's got some living to do.
He's 18. Or 17, whatever. He has to be 18. But that's the thing. Like there's things going on where he could get out. He's he graduated high school, but now he's got O-Dog showing this tape, and it's like he's right on it. He didn't kill the guy, but he's there. So if it gets out, if this guy gets arrested, if O-Dog gets busted and has to like squeal, which you don't know, maybe he will, you're fucked. So that's hanging over his head. And he gets out somehow, even though Bill Duke, I would have cracked. I would have been like, oh God.
He's just calmly saying it. And Bill Duke is a big man, and he's just sitting across the table. You fucked up, right? You fucked up. His eyes are not moving. He's just
sweating. Bill Duke's always very moist in a movie. He's always just like very sweaty. He's just very intense. He's exuding. He's just going to intimidate the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's a lot of action under a calm exterior.
Yeah, exactly. So Sharif and Sydney pick up Caine, and they're talking about possibly going, like bringing him on a road trip to Kansas. So that's another way he could get out of this. They're
Everybody's
like, come on, man, we're going to fucking party. We're going on a road trip, dude. We're fucking going to get some pussy in Kansas.
Shit, I'm getting pussy here in Compton. By the way, that chick that y'all saw me talking to at the picnic, yeah, I tapped that shit.
Busted.
I hope you were using protection. Man, hell yeah. I ain't gonna end up like Willie Lump Lump. Who is Willie Lump Lump? Nothing. This is a little inside thing.
Yeah, and that's gonna, again, think about that too. What's her name? Alina's out there, Steve. Yeah. She's out there, and he threw some dick in there, and we don't know what's going on with that, but it happened. But Caine's not. He's like hesitant. That's what happens. Like these guys, he doesn't want to leave the hood. This is his home. He doesn't want to go to fucking Kansas. And honestly, I don't blame him. I'd be like, guys, if you could sell me better if it wasn't Kansas, Chicago, maybe, like maybe Northern California, even maybe Santa Clara, even. But Kansas, I don't know. All I know about Kansas is there's tornadoes, and I'm not into that.
Yeah, or snow.
Yeah, I mean, all of that. But so they're offering that might happen. Sharif's dad is like, they throw like a heavy sales pitch to Caine, like in the classroom too. Like they basically have like a hood intervention with him where they're like, you ain't going to do shit here. You need to get the fuck out of here. And like he's even like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I play it by ear. And, on the other side, he's getting tugged by Ronnie. She's moving to Atlanta for greener pastures. She's had enough of this neighborhood life in LA. I need to relocate, me and my baby. Purnell is never getting out. So I just need to restart. We'll send them,
she gets a job too. Like eventually she does. Yeah. If we just want to push to that, she gets a job. So like now they're in a romantic thing. But like I said, like Caine's like, I don't want to I can't cross that line. Purnell's like kind of like my dad. So he's your fucking baby's daddy. That's a line I'm not going to cross. But she's like, look, he ain't getting out. I just got a job in Atlanta. I want you to come with me. You can get out of here. We can go do that. He's hesitant, but eventually he does come around. And they go visit Purnell in jail. And this was a scene that was funny in Don't Be a Menace to South Central too, that they over dramatized in that. But it's basically the gist of the conversation is like, yo, man, you a good dude. And I really liked, you were like my son, basically. Like they sort of share that, but he's like, you have my blessing to go fuck my girl and take my kid and, get out of the hood because the shit ain't real. You don't need that.
Like, dude, I get it. I appreciate the acknowledgement and everything, but like, I can't fuck her.
The holes ain't big enough in this fucking plexiglass, dude. We tried. Yeah. We tried. I bruised my dick up some fierce, but go throw some dick in my girl. Take care of my kid. Thank you for that. You're a good dude. You need to get out. Get out. He's saying that's one of the. He's like, you got to get out. It's not worth it. He's like, you thought I was an animal. He's like, you think I'm an animal? Like, man, I ain't shit, basically. You know, he's like, that shit is it ain't worth it. So get out and take my wife or girl and my kid, and you have my blessing. I won't send some guy to kill you, or I don't know.
Dude, let me be a cautionary tale. All that gangster shit that you thought was so cool back in the day when you were a kid, it led me here.
And but again, if you could maybe send me like some naked pictures of my girl though every once in a while, I'd appreciate that.
Some hustlers here and there.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a couple of Nutter Butters or something too. Just a little care package every 12 months.
I kind of miss potato chips. And we haven't mentioned Too Short. He has a small cameo. Not too many speaking parts, but hey, let's get as many rappers in here as possible. And there's also an appearance by Yo-Yo. She's one of the home girls.
Nice.
So yeah, he's being tugged by his homies to move to Kansas, and then Ronnie and Anthony, they're moving to Atlanta, and he's leaning more towards Atlanta. And along the way, he gets a phone call from Alina, who's telling Caine that she's pregnant, and he's like, "What the fuck you telling me for?" And
I wrapped that shit up tight.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like, you know what? It ain't my problem, dude. That's a YP. That's not an MP. So peace out. I'm about to be up out anyway. So peace. Yeah. And she doesn't take that. She's like, you gonna treat me like some fucking hood rat bitch? Okay. Who are you? Yeah, but he hangs the phone up, Steve. He hangs that shit up, and that causes. This is where the tide turns a little bit for Caine. He's making some bad decisions. So now Yelene is a little fucking pissed, and her cousin's even more pissed, and he's intense. And he shows up. What's up, partner? And he's like, you're gonna fucking call my sister or cousin. Fuck that shit. You ain't gonna disrespect her like that. And he is summarily stomped to shit right in front of Caine's granddad's house. Yeah. And I mean, when I say stomp, I mean this is like the Office Space when they're killing the printer stomping. Like this is intense, Steve. I don't know how he survived.
Yeah, they beat the brakes off that boy. They did. And this is also Junior from Players Club, and he was also one of the hoods from Tales from the Hood. We want the shit, old man. Yeah, old man, give us the shit.
Yeah. Oh yes, the shit.
Wish.com game. I always looked at him as.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, he was always prevalent as like a hood movie. He's always the real intense guy. What's up, partner?
What's up, man?
I mean, that's his line and everything. He's the "What's up, partner" guy. So
you got to get that little D-Lo neck action going with the. What's up? Yeah,
like don't blink a lot either. He's very intense, and so they stomp his ass. And what also this causes, Caine is living with his grandparents still. And this isn't the last straw. His grandfather's like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, every week, every other week you're shot. You just stomped the guy to death in front of my fucking house. Like it's over with. You're a bad kid. We took you in. We tried to make you a good kid, but you're not. You're a bad kid. So get the fuck out. And he's like, he pulls like that baby boy, like, you go kick me out. But then he just fucking says, fuck it. I'm out. I'm leaving anyway. I was going to leave. I was going to tell you I'm leaving for Atlanta, but what should we do here? And they're like, get the fuck out. That's what you should do. Go to Atlanta. Hopefully you don't ruin that woman's life. That's what his grandfather. I was like, God damn, dude.
Hey man.
But I get it. I mean, God, like I said, we saw this movie starts, and I don't know what the time span in between shootings, but after he graduated, he shot like 3 times. He's like, Caine, I don't think you're just hanging out with your friends, Something's happening here.
He robs a guy in broad daylight at the drive-thru and takes his Dayton's, takes his stereo, and has him order a double cheeseburger. Dead ass serious.
He takes the guy's money and buys crack or coke to make crack with, Steve.
Oh, yeah. That was like they say 50% real crack too, by the way, in that scene.
Only 50%. Wow. Some Hollywood crack rocks in there too. That's good though. That's cool. Authenticity. I like that.
And he's on the wild side, man, because they're having their little get together at Ronnie's house, playing cards, smoking, drinking, filling on some booties and whatnot on the living room floor. And Chauncey just cannot keep his hands off Ronnie. He wants some Ronnie. There are several options within this house, but he's got his eyes set on Ronnie. But Caine is already smashing that. And Caine is getting peeved at this party. He's heard him making these passing remarks every time Ronnie walks by. And eventually, Caine just had enough and he just lays into Chauncey, beats the fucking brakes off of Chauncey. And
I mean, hey, god damn, dude. You're being at least try to like maybe move it to a different room before you just flagrantly just try to get this in this chick's fucking panties. I mean, god damn, you know what's up.
No means no, Chauncey.
And also, like, I think before that happens, they fuck. Like, they actually finally they slow motion kiss each other a lot. I'm assuming they got in there, but
oh yeah, they get it in.
So they cut, and that was another funny scene that they spoofed in Don't Be a Menace. The food eating and shit. But so now Chauncey's pissed. And one thing that we've sort of as a callback, he actually has that fucking tape that fucking O-Dog's been showing, and he's like, typical hater fucking, he's like, yeah, I'm going right to the cop. He's just ready to go. I think he has the package ready to go, Steve.
Well, his homeboy was pissing him off. He was watching some boxing match. He was like, man, he beat his ass, kind of like Caine was beating your ass. Man, fuck some Caine. Don't talk to me about no goddamn Caine. See, I got his little ass right here, though. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, you picked the wrong one today.
So fucking time's running out, Steve. TikTok. I mean, if he isn't going to get killed, he's going to get fucking locked up if he doesn't get to Atlanta. So, what happens after that though? Like, is this where he's the move out? Is that this transitioning to the move out?
We're transitioning to the move out. Caine has made up his mind. He's going to, start a new life with Ronnie and Anthony. And, he already beat Alina's cousin's ass. And so now they're seeking vengeance. He's out in the car with the homies. He's got the drop on Caine. He knows his location, his deets. And
yeah, dude. I mean, it's a fucking he's got a going away present for Caine. And he's like, hey, man, I got a lot of big little presents for you. A lot of bullets.
Help you relocate to that upper room.
So, we're moving out. Luckily, these thugs that are all hanging out together, when it comes time to do something like a move out, they'll do a drive-by, but they'll also help you move your apartment. So that's pretty cool. O-Dog just sort of, pontificating. He's like, man, you finally getting out of the hood, man. Look at you. Going to Atlanta. You doing good, man. You about to be a little like stepdad and shit. Look at you.
You need help with that box, brother.
Fucking little Anthony's on his little big wheel. And then who rolls up? Elena's fucking cousin, straight hoodish as hell, slow-mo. Cue the slow-mo drive-by scene from every 90s movie. Just straight. I got something for his ass. And then he does, Steve. He's got a bullet sandwich. And Caine, in a heroic act, tries to like shield Anthony from the bullets.
Heart of gold.
And he just gets Scarface, basically. I mean, Elena's cousin gets it the fucking revenge. And I mean, I feel like now, what's going to happen? She's not going to get any money out of this guy.
Yeah.
But it's graphic, Steve. It's like the RoboCop scene we talked about, where they create, the beginning of RoboCop. Caine takes like maybe 10 to 15 bullets in the chest. Sharif is fucking instantly killed. So there goes another life needlessly.
The guy trying to turn his life around.
But the big wheel, I think it's busted, Steve. So we even lost a big wheel.
Yeah.
Where was O-Dog? Where was the thug? He was inside. He comes out and he's like, oh, you think he changed his way, Steve?
O-Dog got arrested, I believe, didn't he, at the end of this movie?
I think so, but I mean, does this make him into a new Sharif? Does he take all this and go, you know what, I was wrong? Or does O-Dog come out of jail and just goes, I'm going to get a guy that we stomp guy. We're going to get the cousin right now.
I feel like O-Dog just digged even deeper. He just became a Super Saiyan gangster when he got out, if he got out.
Yeah, he might not get out because that tape's also out there too. So I think at some point that maybe came into play. But Caine dies in an extremely dramatic fashion. I mean, gasp. I mean, it's very Shakespearean almost. It's crazy. But he does die. And he sort of like flashes to all these moments from the movie before although it just doesn't matter. I forget what the exact speech is. Maybe you have it, but it's basically like I should have listened to everybody, but now that shit doesn't matter. I wanted to live. That's what it was.
My grandpa asked me if I wanted to live, and I told him I didn't know. Well, looking back on it, I should have said yeah. Well,
because now I'm dying and I want to live.
So much for that graduation summer. He did graduate to that upper room though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's going to thug heaven, Steve. He saved a kid,
Well, hopefully, yeah. Okay, I hope they mark that in.
Put that in there. Put that on the book.
A last second ditch effort.
But I mean, this movie, where it stacks up, I don't know. I have a list of all those movies, but when I watch it, I wished I would have acknowledged it more. Is it a New Jack City? It's probably up there. I don't know if it's quite that level of insanity, but that's where my tastes go. This movie, very good, but there's lessons to be learned. New Jack City is more of just a action movie,
Yeah, the underlying theme in Menace to Society, these streets don't love nobody. Menace to Society is just too quotable. Menace to Society is not there. New Jack City is like every scene has a quote that I'll never forget. Rockabye, baby.
And I feel like the level of like enhancement to what 90s style was, it was to the like there was a style that you saw in New Jack City of like the people how they looked, how they dressed, all of that shit, whereas this is more of just like closer to normal life. I feel New Jack City is just like an insane like comic book type thing.
Well, New Jack City replicates, it represents, like you said, those times, but it was New York. This represents early 90s Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at the title art, like O-Dog is wearing like flannel, like that was the look, the Bloods and the Crips and all of that. But yeah, it's top tier. Not at the very top of hood movies for me. I feel like just a tier below the top.
I would even put like a Baby Boy above this.
Ooh, wow.
Just because I think that's more of a personal thing, especially like that you and I share when we would like talk about that movie. It's just like that movie's quotable, and it's almost in a way that maybe that Mr. Singleton didn't really anticipate. Like we thought of that movie more as a comedy, in some ways.
Well, like the film student in us will resort to the opening scene where they're talking about like the whole Dr. Franz Cress-Welsing analogy of the whole baby boy perspective. You know what I mean?
That shit is wild. But but this movie though does stand the test of time. There's a lot of, like you said, faces in it. I think it stands up. I enjoyed watching it. And again, as it relates to movies now, it's a nice hour and a half movie that gets to the point. You get it all, and it's fun. It's a good movie. I don't know if fun is the word to say, but it's an entertaining movie.
And Tiger Williams, who was the writer of the script, he wrote this in 28 days, over 6 weeks. Him and the Hughes brothers developed the story together. And fun fact, this film has the word fuck and its derivatives 305 times during the course of the film.
Nice. You gotta like that. I appreciate it. Maybe that. And shout out to Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. I just can't stop. When I watch this, I'm like, God damn, all of the things I remember from that movie are from this movie, basically,
But you know who probably didn't watch Menace to Society when it came out in 1993 on May 26, Matthew?
Who?
Probably Major League slugger Carlos Martinez, because he famously hit a ball off of Jose Canseco's head for a home run. Derp.
Canseco, dude. Yeah, that wasn't a great day for him.
More like Can't Seiko. And
Jose, what's up, Jose? Shout out Jose Canseco. Still just
a pud.
roided the fuck out.
That following year, 1994, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley are married in the Dominican Republic. Beard.
Yeah, I don't know who believed this. I feel like nobody believed this.
Nobody did.
But shout out Lisa Marie Presley. Fucking, I thought she was sexy back in the day. I don't know what
She was all right.
It's just strange. Such a strange, so fucking weird. I don't. And still to this day, Steve, I gotta say, the documentaries have come out. Everybody sort of equally agrees that something happened there, and yet on the radio, just still, the music's that good that they don't give a fuck. All of it. Fuck the drama. Just keep listening to it. It's just that you got to just enjoy it. You know, he wasn't molesting a kid while recording the song.
Yeah, the things that they're trying to paint on him, I don't fully subscribe to. I believe there were some things done on his end that didn't help the matter. But the things that he did, I feel like none of us were there in the room at those slumber parties. But I don't believe the things that he did warrant me not listening to his great music. That's just me. Like I said, I'm going off of what I see and how I believe his upbringing was and how that led to him being the man that he was.
I see that, but I just say, as far as what the allegations are, if there's that much smoke, there's some kind of fire there. I mean, there's money to be made, but there's a lot of people saying the things, and they all seem pretty like consistent.
Never lost a case in his lifetime.
He had a lot of money though. So OJ never lost a case either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
Well, he didn't lose the case, you know,
the main one.
The one, you know, so it's possible, but I don't know. I don't really care. I listen to his music. I wasn't there. I've seen the documentaries. I believe he did do the shit, but again, it doesn't stop me from enjoying any of the dozens of hits that he had. I don't know what to say other than that. I guess we agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was fornicating with the kids. The shit he did was weird. He was a weird dude. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, like, I just imagine him being a grown ass kid with like funds that just wouldn't stop. Like, if you gave a 5-year-old kid billions of dollars, he would buy the fucking
but he's still a grown ass man though. You get like, I get he has like some mental problems, but he's still a rich grown ass dude that's doing that with people's kids and they don't know it.
His growth was stunted, man. It's very weird, yes, man. And like, there were definitely some things left unchecked, man. He had trauma, and like, I hate to sound like I'm making excuses, but I am a fan, and I just, you know, the fact that the man's not here to defend himself anymore, I just feel like if somebody touched my kid, like, yeah, I want to take you to court. I want you to lose, and I want you in jail.
I agree, but money's a motherfucker. So I feel like if you can offer to somebody an amount of money that will change their lives and the lives of their family forever, they're willing to do a lot more, even if you were perpetrating some dark shit. It happens a lot. So did he do it? I don't know. I wasn't there, but from what I see, if I was on a jury, I'd be like, yeah, he did that shit probably.
Kind of how I feel about OJ. You kind of probably did that shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know, but whatever. I still listen to fucking Beat It and shit.
Do you still watch what is it? The fucking Leslie Nielsen movies?
Can I be honest? I mean, I like slapstick movies like that, but I was more of a Hot Shots guy, not a Naked Gun movie. You know, some of them, they were all right, but I was more of a Hot Shots dude, like that. And oh fuck, I can't remember. Like, and well, I guess you can put Wayne's Brothers, but you know, was Leslie Nielsen a scumbag? Is that what we're saying?
Well, no, you said you still listen to Mike's albums, and then we were talking about OJ. Like, would you still watch Naked Gun or?
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, I would.
'Cause
I'd
he-
watch it. I wouldn't give a fuck. It ain't about OJ. I mean, he's not in it that much.
Just running through airplane.
I
airports.
listen to R. Kelly. I mean, that's the same shit. And he did that shit. So, I don't know what to say about that.
Well, hey, I'm not going to judge you. Still love you, man. I don't listen to Robert anymore. But hey,
Comes on, it's in the mix. I'm not gonna put a thumbs down on it. I put a thumbs down on his antics, but not the music. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I think, what you're saying.
Sometimes you just have to step in the name of love. In 1995, Casper premieres in theaters. An afterlife therapist and his daughter meet a friendly young ghost when they move into a crumbling mansion in order to rid the premises of wicked spirits, starring Bill Pullman, Christina Ricci, and Kathy Moriarty.
This movie, I saw this in the theater when it came out. I had this on VHS, and I like this movie. I remember liking it. And I definitely had a crush on Christina Ricci back in the day when I was a kid. I always thought she was sexy.
I still do.
It's a little bit of a weirder vibe now, but she was like one of those like wholesome, like in this especially, like she was just like a wholesome chick, and then she just grew up to be just like a hottie with some fucking tatas.
And I believe the porn parody gods are summoning me right now, Matt. And they're telling me I need to be in a video with Christina Ricci in a remake called Asper, because no one is going to see it.
I mean, somebody's going to see it. I'm going to watch it.
Asper.
I'm going to invest. That actually already was probably made though, Steve. And also it probably, like, he could be your semen because he kind of looks like a sperm anyway,
He does.
So get a CGI semen just busting out of Steve's dick on the Reach, and I'm already in, Steve. I don't know if Asper is the name I'd go for, but I guess that's all we got to go with. So,
well, we removed the C, and nobody will see.
I love a CG spermie though too. Just like a real 3D cum shot, which maybe has already been done, but I think we can do it better, Steve.
Casper, the friendly splooge. And this got some credit for being a pioneer of sorts, breaking the CGI territory in the 90s. It broke its budget. They earned $287.9 million on a $55 million budget. And it's available on Hulu now.
And it has some like cool, like comedic call outs to like SNL and stuff. There's like that guy, he's like a Spanish like priest father or something. He's in this. You know what I'm talking about.
Father Guido,
Sarducci. He makes like a cameo in this. I think the Ghostbusters actually do too. Like I think they come to like try to exorcise the house, but like Casper has 3 older brothers who are like bullies. It's kind of like Cinderella, but they're also ghosts and they're haunting this place that Christina Ricci and her father have moved into. And so like some people come to try to like exercise the house, and I think that's where all those comedic people come in. It's pretty fun. I mean, I remember liking this movie a lot. I haven't seen it in a while, but dark too. I think like at some point Casper, there's like a machine that can actually make ghosts, like bring them back to life. It's some pretty dark shit. So
you have a very vivid movie memory of this, man. Apparently Brad Garrett was in it. He was one of the voices.
Oh yeah, I think he was the fat one. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Eric
Idle, Ben Stein, he was in it.
Oh yeah, Eric Idle is like the villain's like assistant. He's funny as fuck. Yeah, there's a lot of like really big like comedic names. He's from fucking Monty Python and shit. So
Rodney Dangerfield was in it. Oh.
I don't remember that. But like, yeah, it's kind of like the ghosts are like Three Stooges-ish types. It's like kind of that comedy, but it's, it's worth watching. It's not a bad movie by any means.
And on that same day in 95, Johnny Mnemonic premiered in theaters. A data courier literally carrying a data package inside his head must deliver it before he dies from the burden or is killed by the Yakuza, starring Keanu Reeves, Dolph Lundgren, Dina Meyer, and Ice-T. This is a homicide investigation.
You said you didn't like this. I don't really remember this movie too much. There's a movie with Denzel Washington and the guy from Gladiator that came
Russell
out
Crowe?
Yeah, it came out around the same time that I think I always confuse this movie with.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Johnny Mnemonic. I'm just going off of the critics. It's universally panned. They say it's misdirected. They had no idea. It seemed like the director had no idea where the fuck he was going with it.
That Denzel movie though is actually pretty fucking entertaining.
Where Russell Crowe basically like turns, he could be like anything. He's like a digital guy, right?
He's like a digital serial killer, but then he somehow gets brought into the real world and starts killing people. And Denzel's like a cop he's something that's on the, trying to catch him. But it's a very 90s like Demolition Man-ish, very crazy action movie. But yeah, Johnny Mnemonic, dude, I gotta be honest, like in the 90s, I didn't really like Keanu Reeves that much. Like I like Point Break, there were movies I liked, but he wasn't gonna make me watch a fucking movie,
just by him being there.
No, I mean, until he got to even when he got into the Matrix, it was just like he was in cool fucking movies, but I wasn't like, oh, Keanu. Now he's kind of like Nick Cage, where it's like you just want him in the movie as himself, basically, which maybe that was always what it was, because he's always just been kind of like, whoa. He's like a Luke Wilson type,
Yeah. Just not heavy on the comedy.
No, he's good. I mean, he's good at what he does, but Johnny Mnemonic, that, never registered. And again, I think I confused it a lot with another movie, so couldn't have been that good.
Virtuosity.
That's what it was, Steve. That movie is pretty fucking good, if I remember. Probably not. I thought Twister was good, and then I watched it, and it was a steaming turd. So
somebody who probably did not watch Casper or Johnny Mnemonic was Friz Freleng, longtime illustrator and animator of the Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes. He died at the age of 89, natural causes.
Damn, that guy fucking is a legend.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Crazy to watch that though. It's so watching those people that did hand-drawn animation is such a weird process to watch. It looked impossible. Like for somebody like me that's not really, I can draw, but not like that. Just how they like flip pages and fucking are just constantly like, erasing and add. It's just it takes a lot of talent.
How do you not have calluses? Friz Freleng, man, he's responsible for a lot of the great characters. Man, I hope you're in heaven running a train on Katharine Hepburn with Frank Sinatra. I mean, you know what? You're probably not a Katharine Hepburn guy. You probably deserve Elizabeth Taylor. Yeah, I hope you're waxing that up there, Friz Freleng. Thank you for the memories.
Or just like maybe one of the new ones. Maybe you were like in heaven and we're like, man, Pamela Anderson, what's up? She ain't dead yet, but like a little apparition or something.
Yeah, as long as I have a face, you'll always have a place to sit.
Let me shoot a Casper on you real quick. Nice.
The Friendly Splooge. 1996, In Your House 8, Beware of Dog is airing on pay-per-view through WWF, live from the Florence Civic Center in Florence, South Carolina.
And something happened in this, didn't it? Didn't it only, it was like a 20-minute pay-per-view or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the actual audience in attendance, they got to see the remainder, I believe, but they had to do a mulligan. So this pay-per-view aired on a Sunday, and of course Raw would be the following day, so they try to do a mulligan on Tuesday. Let's just do all of this shit over. Due to a severe thunderstorm, the power went out during the broadcast, resulting in only 2 matches being shown and a series of dark matches. And as a result, a second night titled Beware of Dog 2 was scheduled for May 28th. The 2 matches televised from the May 26th event were shown again at the beginning of the rescheduled pay-per-view. And those 2 matches were Mark Merrow and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And the match after that was Savio Vega and Stone Cold. And during the entrance of Stone Cold and Savio Vega, that's when the shit hit the fan.
Stone Cold was just too badass. The glass.
Oh, hell yeah.
Turn them fucking lights back on. This was when I don't like the In Your House shit. I remember this is when I was kind of like checked out of WWF for a while.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the Attitude Era yet because this was '96. I believe Hall and Nash they haven't like made history yet in WCW.
Okay. This was when little Matt was like, what's this other thing over here? What's this WCW thing? I think I watched it before the Outsiders came. Like, I think I was aware of it. Like, I definitely watched like the Sting and shit, like the pre-NWO shit. But
yeah,
I was just like, there was a point where there was like definitely like a definitive crossover. I was like, I'm not gonna watch WWF as much. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah, they got dentist and garbage men. And
yeah, it's just like a crocodile wrangler. I mean, fucking whatever.
Jake the Snake's a televangelist now? What the fuck? Yeah. Where's Ren and Stimpy? Now, in 1998, the first National Sorry Day is held in Australia. Reconciliation events are held nationally and attended by over 1 million people.
What were they sorry about, Steve?
They were sorry. This is basically like a reconciliation between the Aborigines and the settlers.
There's a lot of like racism against those people, I think, in Australia, even still.
Yeah, man. I mean, old habits are hard to break. And, you know, there had to be a sense of strong remorse for them to have a National Sorry Day. That's not an apology. This is an apology, mate. Hey, mate. Having no duels. I'm sorry.
Sorry, mate. Sorry for being racist. Sorry about that. Didgeridoo. Wow, wow, wow.
Ricola.
Wow. That's a pretty good fucking didgeridoo impression, Steve.
Yeah, man.
A fucking voice-instrumentalist.
Shit, is Peter Frampton coming back on tour, man? You need to hit him up. But any callbacks, honorable mentions, dingleberries you need to pick at?
Shout out to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the reboot, Steve. Just giving a high recommendation. A high happened in the 90s, A+ from Matt G. And shout out to Andy Samberg for consistently doing fun shit and still doing stuff with his homeboys. He never lets the Lonely Island guys falter. He's always putting them in shit. They're in this, and I'm sure they played a part in like some of the the comedic rap songs that they did and stuff. So I love to see that. I always like when a guy commits to just having his boys in, like even Kevin Smith. Say what you want about his movies, he just has his homeboys in movies.
I love it.
You know, I love that shit. So the movie's worth watching. It's on Disney Plus. You don't have to go to a theater. So if you got it, just fucking hit fucking start on that shit. It's good.
And I want to say the Rescue Rangers, they have this opportunity to save a Red Ranger. He's in peril, financial peril, mental peril. And before it's too late, man, he's going to be in anal peril. And I think Chip and Dale can save the day, man, along with Walker, Texas Ranger. And then while he's alive, let's call up Nolan Ryan, the greatest Texas Ranger. Let's get all of the Rangers, even that little fucking piece of felt that Dave Coulier would have, Ranger Rick. Let's get all the fucking Rangers. Yes.
I'm with you, Steve.
Rangers. Yeah, or George St. Patrick, Pierre, whatever the fuck his name is.
Fucking call the Mountie from WWF too. He's kind of like a Ranger. Get him in there. Fucking let him shock somebody's nuts.
He's the Mountie. Now, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please check out our other shows, Over the Culture, Crushgasm, Don't Worry, Be Movie, and B3F Podcast. This is Steve G and Matt G with Happen in the 90s.
Wow, wow. Bitch.